Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Sarasota County School Superintendent Todd Bowden says he plans to put off-duty law enforcement at all district elementary schools now without a school resource officer by April 2nd. Bowden is expected to present the plan to school board members at a special executive session later this afternoon. This is in response to Governor Scott signing the Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act, which requires a resource officer at every public school. Under Bowden's plan, the district would hire off-duty armed officers, 4 from Sarasota Police, 5 from Northport Police, and 12 from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. We'll keep you updated on the plan throughout the day here on ABC 7. Happening today, 8 highway patrol troopers are scheduled to beef up security at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, where 17 people were murdered last month. Governor Scott ordered the troopers to assist the sheriff's deputies beginning today. The troopers will be stationed indefinitely along with Broward County deputies, allowing an armed guard to be present at every campus entry. And there are new requirements for students as well. They'll have to use clear backpacks that the district is now providing. Students across the country, including here on the Suncoast, are heading to Washington, D.C. to be part of the March for Our Lives rally this weekend. But some students in Atlanta who are planning to be part of the march are having to pay a price for taking part in last week's walkout. The teens who took part in the demonstration are getting 1 day of in-school suspension, which means a day of silent study.
I don't think we deserve this punishment at all. We were fighting for our right to be safe, to go to school and not be killed. I don't see a fault in that.
The Cobb County School District told students before the walkout that they would be punished for leaving class, but did not specify what that punishment would be. New developments today out of Miami, where for the first time we're seeing video of last week's pedestrian bridge collapse that killed 6 people. This is video from a dash cam as a vehicle approaches the span just as it falls. Investigators are looking into cracks found just days before the bridge came down last week. Investigators say the workers were adjusting tension on the 2 rods located on the north end of the span when it failed and collapsed. Construction of the bridge was behind schedule, millions of dollars over budget, in part because of a key change in the design of its main support tower. And following that tragic bridge collapse, how are bridges here on the Suncoast being kept safe? ABC 7's Marla Spence explains.
As the investigation continues into the Miami bridge collapse, many may be wondering what's being done to make sure bridges like the Ringling Bridge are safe for drivers and pedestrians. ABC 7 reached out to the Florida Department of Transportation. They tell us inspectors inspect state and county bridges like the Ringling Bridge very often. We're told the department inspects all public highway bridges through FDOT's bridge maintenance program. As FDOT does what it can to make certain that bridges locally and statewide are safe, bridge professionals are planning to come together in Orlando in just a few weeks. They'll be learning more on how to keep bridges safe and how to preserve them through the 2018 National Bridge Preservation Partnership Conference. That's where improvements in research, bridge specifications, and also bridge design will all be displayed and discussed April 8th through the 12th. I'm Marla Spence at the Ringling Causeway for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. FDOT says they perform inspections to all state and county bridges every 2 years. An update now out of Austin, Texas, where we're learning more about the 23-year-old suspected serial bomber. Police say that now deceased Mark Condit left behind a recorded message, which they're calling a confession. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest from Texas.
Suspected bomber Mark Condit allegedly telling all.
It was a confession because he was, and I even called it as such, that he was admitting to what he had done.
According to police, he left behind a 25-minute video recording describing in detail the 7 explosive devices he constructed, but not saying why.
But instead, it is the outcry of a very challenged young man talking about challenges in his personal life that led him to this point.
For nearly 3 weeks, authorities say Condit terrorized Austin, triggering a bombing spree that killed 2 and wounded at least 5.
We're going to be attempting to move people away from the building.
His identity unknown until they figured out he was the man seen in a wig in this FedEx facility surveillance video. A SWAT team following him for hours before moving in, ramming Condit's maroon SUV, setting off another explosion that killed him.
Yes, there were indications that he stated in the video video that he felt like we were getting very close to him.
Wednesday, sections of his hometown of Pflugerville on lockdown. Federal agents evacuating all residents within a 5-block radius. Those who know Condit's family still in disbelief.
They don't want to believe this, and of course now they have to.
His family releasing this statement.
We had no idea of the darkness that Mark must have been in.
Authorities are admitting it was those images from FedEx that led them to Condit. Without those, they say, the bombings could have continued. Danya Backus, ABC News, Pflugerville, Texas.
Happening right now, it may technically be spring, but for millions waking up in the Northeast, it's still looking like the dead of winter. Heavy snow blanketing parts of the East Coast, causing flight delays, school closures, traffic crashes in multiple states. Power crews and plow trucks are working overtime to get the power back up and running and to clear those snow-filled roads. And then check out the incredible view of that storm system from space. NASA spotted the storm as it began its approach. You can see here heading to mid-Atlantic and New England areas. Quite a view from up above. Here on the Suncoast, though, pretty nice.
Got to wash my car now. Got salt spray all over it from yesterday's
From the wind?
blow. Yeah, from the wind yesterday. It was quite
really
something.
blowing.
It really was. Today things died down just a little bit. Small craft advisories are down. Exercise caution statements are still up, but things are much nicer today.
Yeah.
A little on the cool side, though. We have Lakewood Ranch webcam. I mean, that just looks cold, doesn't it? Just looks chilly. Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows that deep blue sky that we have out there right now. It is going to be a beautiful night, but it's going to be a cool night, no doubt about that. When you wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures will be even colder than they were this morning. And the wind speeds are also dying down a little bit as well. So even though this afternoon will probably be a little bit cooler than it was yesterday afternoon, I think it'll feel a little bit better because you won't have that strong gusty wind today. 63 degrees the air temperature in Sarasota, 59 degrees in Bradenton. And the temperatures at this hour are running around 3 to 5 degrees below where they were 24 hours ago. So that gives you an idea of the change in air mass taking place currently. Titan radar, dry as a bone out there, and that's the way it's going to be throughout the day today. Dry and sunny. Daytime high about 66 or so. And then as we head into the midnight hour, we're back down into the 50s. And we don't stop there. We continue to fall with the temperature till tomorrow morning when we bottom out in the 40s. We'll talk about how long that's going to last in just a few minutes. Scott?
John, thanks. New at noon, the Northport Police Department's assistant chief is placed on administrative leave. Mike Pelfrey was placed on paid leave after a complaint was filed for an undisclosed reason. Pelfrey has worked with the city since 2015. Before that, coming to Northport, he worked with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office for 26 years. Pelfrey's leave comes at an interesting time for the department as current police chief Kevin Vespia is set to retire next week with no interim police chief chosen yet. Some Alta Vista residents are teaming up to fight Sarasota City Hall. They've been told their street name has to change from Novus Place to Novus Street. The city says Novus Place is an incorrect designation and it needs to change. Neighbors say changing it now would cost them money, time, and plenty of aggravation. But the city says it never should have been called Place in the first place.
It's actually platted as a street. The property appraiser's office notes it as a street. Our city map notes it as a street. Our city code notes it as a street.
So how did it first get called a place then?
I don't have any idea.
Why do we have to go through all these problems? Because of somebody down in City Hall.
Coming up at 5, find out what the residents plan to do to keep their addresses. Happening today, the Bradenton Police Department hosting another community squad meeting. Officers will hold the meeting in the vacant parking lot on 15th Street West in Bradenton from 4 to 8 p.m. And you're invited to stop by and talk to officers directly about any issues or problems you may be seeing in your neighborhood. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the growing concern from doctors across the country involving a recent mumps outbreak. Why a man tried to bite a canine officer. We'll have that story when we come back.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. so much fun. Mwah.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, while our temperatures continue to rise, our dew points continue to fall. And that's significant because theoretically the dew point is the number to which the temperature could fall tonight. It won't get that cold, but theoretically that's how cold it could get. It can't get colder than that. But the winds still coming in north at about 13 will help keep that temperature up just a little bit, but it will certainly be a colder night tonight than it was 24 hours ago as these dew point values continue to fall. Across the region, 59 degrees Bradenton, Parrish, Lakewood Ranch, 60 in Myakka City, Arcadia, 61 in Northport, 60 in Venice and Inglewood, and Longboat Key comes in at 59 degrees. So we've got an exchange of air masses going on across the Suncoast. That is, the frontal boundary has moved through and some cooler, drier air is beginning to replace the moist, humid air that we had previous to that. We're looking at 66 as a daytime high today with plenty of sunshine around, but that's as warm as we get because that north wind continues to draw down that cooler air mass. And that will settle in today, and as the wind speeds kind of lighten just a little bit during the dawn hours tomorrow, that cool air will be allowed to pool at the surface, and our temperatures will drop pretty rapidly during the hours before sunrise, and we'll get down into the 40s, I think, for a morning temperature. So a chillier morning in store for us, and then the warm-up begins. As quickly as this cold air came in, the temperatures will return to upper 70s by the time we hit Sunday of the weekend. So we're looking at temperatures across the region in an hour-by-hour forecast that are hovering in the mid-60s across the region with this north wind continuing. The wind will probably shift a little bit more to the northwest as we head into the afternoon. And then as we head into the nighttime, once again shift back to the due north. And then we'll watch those temperatures during the overnight hours kind of begin to fall until we get to the morning hours when they'll be into the 40s over a wide range of the Sun Coast. And in inlet areas, they'll probably even be cooler than that. I'll bet you that we get a call from old Myakka tomorrow from Becky, who will tell us that her temperature in her backyard, which is usually a cooler location, will come in the upper 30s. That's how chilly it's going to be. So if you have really cold sensitive plants, orchids and such, you may consider giving them some shelter tonight, as it will be the coldest night. 62 by the time we get to noon tomorrow, and we'll be well on our way to temperatures that'll be in the upper 60s to near 70. Titan radar, quiet, nothing going on here. The dry air indicated here by the tan colorizations on the water vapor imagery, showing lots of blue sky this afternoon, sunshine and starry skies tonight. I don't think we'll see a cloud around for a couple of days. For the most part, it's going to be very, very tranquil, quiet weather. Forecast for boaters today, well, the winds have died down a little bit, but they're still elevated a tad, so small craft should exercise some caution this afternoon. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15. And the forecast for the rest of the week looks like this. Today, 66. Tomorrow, probably in the 70s, low 70s. And then as we head into the weekend, warmer still till we get to close to 80 on Sunday. Nighttime lows will also rise. And then as we head into next week, we will solidly be in the 80s for the first full week of spring. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart, isolated outbreaks of mumps are occurring across the nation, but are they becoming a little too frequent in the news? ABC's Stephanie Ramos has a closer look.
The most recent mumps outbreak at a cheerleading competition in Texas. Why are we seeing an increase in a disease we have a vaccination for? Before 1967, there was no mumps vaccine, so anyone who's now over 65 probably went through the viral illness as a child, swollen cheeks and all. Nowadays, it's recommended that kids get 2 doses, the first at 12 to 15 months, another one before grade school. But epidemiologists at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health now say we may all need a booster. They looked at the effectiveness of the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, and rubella from 6 studies across the U.S. and Europe over the past decades. Their data shows a person on average is protected by the mumps vaccine for 27 years. Then it wears off. 1 in 4 people may lose protection 8 years after their last dose. 1 out of 2 may lose protection by age 19, and 3 out of 4 by age 38. Why worry? Older kids and adults can have more severe complication from mumps, meningitis, deafness, and even infertility. Military recruits receive an extra dose regardless of their vaccination history. A college campus had a 3rd dose campaign. Both of these groups were protected from outbreaks. Experts are pushing for a 3rd dose of MMR at age 18 and possibly even a booster for adults. Better an extra shot than a week of the mumps. With this Medical Minute, I'm Stephanie Ramos for ABC News.
All right, time now to head over to the kitchen and say hello to Anthony Liakakos from Oak and Stone on University Parkway. Anthony, thanks so much for being with us today. What are you fixing for us?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So today we're going to be preparing one of our signature sandwiches. It's called our Philly Dipper, which is kind of our crafty twist on a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
All right, thank you so much. We'll see you in a little bit.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Spring has sprung, and that means it's time to get ready for Easter. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Our Fun Money Mom blogger is back with budget-friendly ways to create an amazing Easter basket. A young Venice magician enjoyed the national spotlight on America's Got Talent. Now he'll share his magic skills with us. Plus, a Cirque du Voix preview and hosted gourmet catering is in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Caught on camera, a bizarre incident lands a Wisconsin man in jail. Police say he tried to bite a deputy's canine. Beverly Taylor has more on the newly released body cam video.
Step out, please. Thank you.
Monday, just before midnight, Deputy David Fisher and his canine Murphy were responding to a report of a man, 44-year-old Leland O'Malley of Burlington, pounding on the windows and a door of a home in the town of Dover and would not leave.
Good, man. I appreciate it. You're a good guy. Just don't rush at me.
It appeared to me that he was not in the right state of mind.
Good. The dog will bite you if you come back to be too close.
You can see on this video he was clearly told that this was going to happen. If he had kept advancing, he kept advancing.
Okay, just come out here a little more. You're doing good. You're doing great. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Revere! Revere! Get out of the ground. Get down on the dog.
He did assault the dog, and it was clear. And you've seen how Deputy Fisher responded to that.
Stop fighting my dog! Stop fighting my dog!
These handlers and their canines, they are partners.
Murphy was not injured. Sheriff Christopher Schmaling says he reacted exactly the way he was trained to do.
So here's the bright side. I don't have a deputy sheriff that's injured or killed. The dog is not injured, so this is a win-win. And the suspect, we did not have to use another level of force to overcome his resistance.
Beverly Taylor reporting there. Authorities are looking for a man who stole a car with a baby inside at a Palm Beach County gas station and then dropped off the infant at another store. The suspect allegedly yelled to the clerk to take the baby. Police tracked the stolen vehicle and set up a perimeter to search for the thief. Thankfully, the baby's okay, but as of now, they have not found that car thief yet. A Nevada dad has recreated Disneyland's iconic fireworks in his daughter's bedroom. Look at this. Lyle Corum works as a stagehand on live shows in Las Vegas, so he knows what he's doing. He achieved the effect with a combination of fiber optics, LED lighting, and a projector. It took about 3 months to build all this, and Corum has added even more features over time, like a Star Wars theme. Corum says his daughter loves Disneyland, but the nightly fireworks are her favorite part, which she can now enjoy at home. I think she's going to have a lot of sleepover friends, that's for sure. Time now to head back to the kitchen. John is there with our guest today, Anthony Liakakos from Oak and Stone along University Parkway. Guys?
Always a pleasure having Chef in the kitchen. Anthony, what you cooking up for us today?
So today we're going to be preparing our signature Philly Dipper, which is our crafty twist on a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
And this is from Oak and Stone, which is located where?
So Oak and Stone is located out on University Parkway, right on the corner of Honore and University.
And as I understand, there are maybe more to come down the road. Perhaps.
We do. So currently we're building out in downtown St. Pete. So we're probably about 4 to 5 weeks out from opening that location. So if anyone knows great staff, great people, we're looking to grow our company and grow the brand. So come on down and visit us.
There you go. Good
But
stuff.
today we're going to be cooking up some beer-friendly sandwich.
Okay.
You know, so it's a beer-friendly sandwich. So what we've got here is just some quick olive oil that's been heating up over here. We got some fresh shaved ribeye. I've got some caramelized onions, green peppers, and red peppers that are already done. So this way, those take a little bit longer to sweat down and to caramelize. So for the segment, we'll just go ahead and move along pretty quickly with that.
Okay.
So what I'd start off is just go ahead and add some of your fresh shaved prime rib right in there.
I'm guessing that doesn't take long to cook.
No, so you can see it's shaved ultra thin. So it's a rather fast cook time. Just go ahead, place that all in there. I'd give it a little sprinkle of some salt and pepper. Can never go wrong with a little salt and pepper. I love the seasoned meat. And just kind of, like I said, it cooks really quick, as you can tell. I mean, it's almost done. It should only take about 2-3 minutes to get that fully cooked. And remember, that's going to be cooking as you pull it off, just like any other meat. It'll rest and still continue to cook.
How many different sandwiches do you have on your menu?
So right now on our menu, we offer about 10 to 12 different sandwiches, wraps, tacos, or any other type of handheld. Got a good amount of burgers on there. We even have a vegetarian burger, which sells really well. So this will continue to reduce down.
Guessing pizza.
Pizza. So absolutely. So pizza is kind of what we're branded on, is our wood-fired pizza. So it's cooked on a stone deck, fresh oak wood. We normally try to source that local. Right now it's coming out of Mayaca. So it's great. It's great pizza. We do all of our dough in-house. It's about a 36 to 48 hour process.
Wow.
So not too many people understand the process behind dough. It's actually really, really intense, especially being down here in Florida with the weather. Weather has a lot to do with your dough and how it proofs and how it rises.
It really is. It's a low and slow thing.
It is. It is. Yeah, you got to have patience.
And a good dough, a nice, good, stretchy dough takes a while. You just don't throw it together.
So that's why a lot of those bakers out there have tons of patience. Because you need to play that waiting game with it. So this seems like it's almost down.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go ahead and add in our quick caramelized onions and red pepper, green pepper, just to heat those up.
Nice. Oh, that smells so good too.
So it's coming out.
Wow.
Flavor. We serve that with our house-made au jus, and we'll go ahead and add some fresh horseradish in there. So that's where that dipper part comes in.
Okay. So you add that in at the last minute there into the au jus? I gotcha.
Fresh horseradish goes right in there.
Oh, that's nice.
That'll allow you to dip your sandwich directly into that. Kind of saving the best part for last. So this is just about done. Still a little bit rarer than we'd like.
And about 30 seconds left while you plate that up. I'll remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go onto the website, click on the dining button, and it'll take you right there with all of the video instructions. So please do that, and Chef Anthony's video instructions will all be there as well, along with the shopping list. And right into the fresh bread it goes.
Right into our traditional Amoroso roll, which is great.
Good.
So the cool thing about this sandwich is it's not really meant to be presented beautiful and eaten with a fork and knife. It's one of those sandwiches where you just
roll up your sleeves.
Roll up your sleeves, you get right into it.
There. Yep.
Here's our
and the final pièce de résistance,
which is our house-made beer cheese sauce.
Oh man.
We'll just go ahead and drizzle that right on top.
That's looking good. Oak and Stone. Anthony, thanks very much for coming in and sharing that with us today.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
that.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy, folks. Hope to see you there.
We'll be right back.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings during the spring sales event and shop the area's largest selection of 7-passenger vehicles. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or get off-road capability with the comfort of an SUV in your new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Drive away in a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us swim! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Coming up, new details on the Russia investigation, why Attorney General Jeff Sessions is now being criticized by Congress. Plus, residents in Southern California are doing ahead of heavy rain and possible mudslides. And what Sarasota police are doing to try to find a suspect who robbed one hotel before trying to take off with cash from another one.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story today at 12:30. New developments in the Russia investigation. Attorney General Jeff Sessions facing scrutiny that before he fired Deputy Attorney General Andrew McCabe, McCabe had investigated Sessions. ABC's Pierre Thomas has the latest.
This morning, members of Congress demanding answers about Attorney General Jeff Sessions' Friday night firing of former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. This after our report that McCabe launched a criminal investigation about a year ago, looking into whether Sessions intentionally misled Congress about his interactions with Russians when he was a top advisor to the Trump campaign. The probe triggered in part by this critical moment during Sessions' confirmation hearing, when he was asked what he would do if there was any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government.
I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have communications with the Russians.
It turns out Sessions met at least twice with the Russian ambassador, meetings he says were routine and that had nothing to do with the campaign. But Democrats were screaming for answers, and McCabe launched his investigation. It was ultimately closed with no action, and a source close to Sessions tells us that he did not know about the probe when he fired McCabe last week.
Pierre Thomas reporting there. Happening today, the Trump administration is accusing China of stealing American technology. Farmers, electronics, retailers, and other U.S. businesses are bracing for a backlash. The administration is expected to impose trade sanctions on China later this afternoon, possibly including restrictions on Chinese investment and tariffs on as much as $60 billion worth of Chinese products. Reaction continues to come in on President Trump's stance on giving certain drug dealers the death penalty. The head of a recovery center in Oklahoma says she believes the president's plan is extreme and a focus on treatment in conjunction with punishment would be simple and effective solution. More than 1,000 people with addiction issues, including opioid fixations, have been treated at this facility.
We, incarcerate people the most. And so if we can send some of those people and divert them to, different rehabilitation programs, why not? Especially nonviolent drug offenders.
Since January, 50 people have already graduated from this recovery program. Facebook co-founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg finally speaking out, apologizing to users, and has even offered to testify before Congress. This comes after reports the data company Cambridge Analytica reportedly accessed the information of more than 50 million Facebook users before and during the 2016 election. False stories spread on Facebook during the presidential campaign, and there's still an investigation into whether or not Russia infiltrated the social media site to spread those stories. In an interview on CNN, Zuckerberg predicts new attacks will be even more refined.
I'm sure someone's trying, right? And I'm sure that there's, V2 of version 2 of whatever the Russian effort was in 2016. I'm sure they're working on that, and there are going to be some new tactics that we need to make sure that we observe and get in front of.
In the midst of all the publicity over the last few weeks, Facebook has lost 8% of its value in the stock market. Opening statements are expected today at the Justice Department's landmark lawsuit blocking AT&T's purchase of Time Warner. AT&T showed a preview of its defense when its lead litigator argued Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google transformed entertainment overnight. Dan Petrocelli said those companies are running away with the industry and are collectively worth $3 trillion. AT&T and Time Warner would be worth $300 billion together. This case marks the first time in 40 years the Justice Department has sued to block a merger between companies in different lines of business. While the Northeast is dealing with another nor'easter, out west they're also facing some severe weather. Southern California on alert for flash flooding and mudslides as heavy rain continues to come down. More than 30,000 people have evacuated, and for many of them it's the third time in a month. Authorities say they can't take any chances after the massive storm just 2 months ago that killed more than 20 people. Authorities are now clearing out basins, preparing for possible debris to come down the hillsides, taking out more than 50,000 truckloads in advance of this storm. Meteorologist John Scalzi's back. That's been an issue out there for a couple of months now. Here on the Suncoast, sunny skies, but kind of chilly this morning.
Yeah, a little bit on the chilly side, absolutely right. And I think as we head into the next couple of days, we'll see a little bit of a moderation in that temperature. And I just can't imagine better weather than we're going to have this weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's looking great. I'm excited. I'm excited. Sarasota Bay webcam put into motion shows all that blue sky out there. Just really sharp shadows on the bridge pylons because of all that blue sky out there, and really crystal skies at that. So it should be a very starry night tonight. Beautiful sky tonight. 63 degrees Sarasota, 60 degrees in Manatee County, 61 in Venice and Inglewood, and inland areas just a little bit cooler. I think tonight will probably be a chillier night than it was this morning, so we do have some cooler weather still to get through before we start our warm-up. But it is certainly dry across the region. No rain issues or storm issues for us today, or really for the next 7 days. Our daytime high today tops out a little cooler than yesterday, coming in about 66, but with less wind around, it'll feel, I think, a little more comfortable out there. Nighttime lows will probably bottom out in the 40s tonight, so some chilly weather in store for us. We'll talk about the weekend warm-up coming up in a few, Scott.
All right, John, thanks. Sarasota police are asking for your help in finding a man who they say robbed one hotel and then tried to rob a second one nearby. The two hotels are on North Tamiami Trail. Sarasota police asking for your help in finding this man. Police say surveillance video shows him stealing cash from the Quality Inn just after midnight Wednesday. Police say they also have him on video heading to the Days Inn just up the road for an attempted robbery.
We absolutely want to get a suspect like this off the street. He implied that he had a firearm and used fear for these two clerks. We're just thankful that neither of the clerks were injured, but he did commit a crime, and so we're hoping to get him off the street as soon as possible.
Suspect is described as a thin white man in his mid to late 50s, around 5 feet 8 inches tall, blue eyes, light color hair. If you know who it is and the whereabouts, you're asked to call Sarasota Police. The Manatee County School District is trying to fire a bus driver who's been convicted of soliciting prostitution. 50-year-old Jerome Heaven was arrested in an undercover operation conducted by Bradenton Police last year. Heaven was convicted by a jury in February. A month later, he's still employed by the district. The district says Heaven has not been around students since he was arrested. Instead, he's been washing dishes and doing desk work at the district support center. School officials say they have tried to fire him in the past, but the State Division of Administrative Hearings overturned that decision, citing the district did not have enough evidence to do so.
We have no details on the case. That's what will be presented to us. We're not allowed to discuss the case, what it's about, the merits of the case, until we are in the role of, in essence, a judiciary.
ABC 7 spoke with Heaven, who, while he didn't want to go on camera, he told us he's innocent and that the undercover officer approached him, not the other way around. He also claims he never made any deal to exchange money for sex. The school board will hear both sides of the case during a special meeting tomorrow. Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Lakewood Ranch unveiling an $8 million expansion plan. It will allow the animal shelter to take in about 50% more dogs and 25% more cats, which works out to be about 4,000 animals a year. The shelter has already raised $2 million with plans to raise another $3 million, and an anonymous donor will then match that money raised.
It's gut-wrenching when you go to a kill shelter and have to walk away and leave an animal there because you don't have the space. So now we'll have the space. The
shelter helped nearly 1,900 animals find their forever homes last year. Sarasota Film Festival is unveiling its 2018 lineup. Eric Stoltz's comedy called Class Rank will be the opening night film, screening April 13th at the Sarasota Opera House. Rory Kennedy's Above and Beyond, NASA's Journey to Tomorrow will serve as the closing night film on April 21st. The festival will also honor Steve Guttenberg and Virginia Madsen with Career Achievement Awards. Guttenberg will be honored for starring in more than 60 films, and Madsen will be honored for her Oscar-nominated role in Alexander Payne's Sideways. Sarasota Film Festival runs from April 13th through the 22nd. Happening today, IMG Academy is hosting its second Career Fair event. All departments across IMG Academy's business will have representatives at the event at IMG's Fieldhouse. The Legacy Hotel at IMG Academy will also have a presence to promote future openings within that new hotel.
It's a great opportunity for us to get out in the community and advertise all the opportunities we have. A lot of people think of IMG Academy as only a sports academy, but we are so much more.
Positions are scheduled to be posted this summer for the grand opening in the fall. More than 250 full-time, part-time, and summer positions are currently available at the Academy, including operations, athletics, coaching, and academics. The event will run until 5 p.m. today. Also happening today and going on right now, a hiring expo in Venice. Waste Management is looking for more drivers and technicians. The department is holding the hiring expo until 5 at their location on State Road 776 in South Venice. These positions will be eligible for a special bonus of $2,000 after they complete 1 year of service. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll have some tips on what you can do to make sure you keep your credit score up, all with the help of a secured credit card.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Car experts and customers agree there's a lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So if we look at the temperatures that we expect to see through the remainder of the afternoon, they look pretty good. 66 degrees at this hour, or at 3 o'clock rather, heading to a daytime high probably about the same. I don't think we'll get much more warmer or colder than that because of the cold air that continues to drain south. Overnight low, though, will certainly be cooler, coming in at about 55 degrees during the overnight hours. As we head into the dawn, I think we'll probably see those temperatures fall even further to about 45 degrees. So some cooler air coming our way, kind of riding on that northerly wind flow. The forecast for the next several days looks pretty nice. Temperatures will start to rise a little bit, and I think at this time, probably tomorrow afternoon, We'll be closer to the 65, 66 degree mark, but right now we're at 63. Dew point value coming in at 38. Still very dry out there. We have that north wind coming in at about 13. Across the region, 61 in Arcadia, Myakka Parish at 60, Bradenton at 60, Sarasota coming in at 63. Venice comes in at 61, Inglewood at 61. As I mentioned, we top it out today at about 66 degrees, but then we taper off pretty quickly. And the reason for that is the winds will be lighter, and also the dew point values, the amount of moisture in the air, the humidity, if you will, is lower, much lower than it was 24 hours ago. So there isn't that water in the air to help retain the heat. And so consequently, that cold air will settle and pool right down near the surface as those winds go lighter and our overnight temperature drops into the 40s. Hour by hour forecast continues to show winds kind of shifting a little bit more to the northwest, but that won't do much to return moisture to the air. There'll still be plenty of moisture headed our way. 55 in Sarasota by around the midnight hour. Then as we head into the early morning toward dawn, our temperatures fall into the 40s. Probably be there for several hours, so if you have very sensitive plants, I would recommend taking precautions. If potted plants like orchids and things like that, they might get bit just a little bit, particularly if you live east of the interstate. Titan radar not showing much in the way of any kind of rainfall potential for us today. That dry air in place, indicated by the tan contours, continues to spill southward. High pressure, our dominant weather feature, stays with us. Now here's where the warm-up comes in. That high will eventually work its way eastward, and that will twist our winds more to an easterly direction. That spells the warm-up for us as moisture slowly returns, nighttime lows rise, and we see daytime highs also rising. So sunny skies, rain-free, and then that weekend warm-up that carries us into really next work week. As far as the boating forecast goes, north at about 10 to 15, becoming a little more northwest before switching back to the north at about 10 to 15. Choppy conditions on bay and inland waters, so it is still a small craft advisory day for you boaters. 66 degrees the air temperature, 72 by Friday, and then as we head into the weekend, we start to climb up to around 78 degrees, so pretty nice. Temperatures also climbing at night. And then as we go into next work week, the first full week of spring, we see temperatures that climb back into the 80s. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, Credit Education Month continues all week. We've had tips on the importance of staying on top of your credit report. Today, ABC 7's Stephanie Webb has one quick tip on how to raise your credit score.
There are few worse feelings in the world than getting ready to buy that new dream house or new car, and you find out your all-important credit score isn't very good. You might get charged a higher interest rate on a loan, have to fork over a higher down payment, or even get rejected for the loan altogether. But if your credit score just needs a little boost, there is one fast tip that Justin Culper from thepennyhoarder.com does recommend.
Really, there's one key tip, and that is get a secured credit card. A secured credit card is just like your normal credit card. You can swipe it anywhere. It bears interest, unfortunately, and it reports to all 3 credit bureaus. The difference is that credit limit you get on that card is based on a deposit that you put down. So if you have a $300 credit limit, you sent that credit card company a $300 deposit to back up that limit.
And be sure to keep that balance low. Never charge more on it than 30% of the total balance. And pay on it every month, in full if you're able to. And no, there's nothing on your credit report that signals that card is a secured one. Stephanie Webb for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Stephanie, thank you. Toys R Us stores across the country are starting their liquidation sales today. This comes after the toy retailers announced earlier this month it would close or be selling all of its U.S. stores. The going out of business sale will offer big discounts on toys as the company looks to get rid of its inventory by June. The liquidation is expected to take about 14 weeks, but some stores may close earlier if that inventory sells out. The Consumer Product Safety Commission announcing Kitty Products is recalling models of its dual sensor smoke alarms that may not alert people of a fire in their homes. All 500,000 models were sold in the U.S. and Canada at stores like Home Depot and Walmart. Amazon.com also had the smoke detectors on their website from September of 2016 through January. If you have one of these smoke detectors, you can reach out to the company for more information on its website. It looks like breakfast might be starting to cost a little more very soon. General Mills says rising food and shipping costs are forcing price hikes on some of its products. The company makes everything from Cheerios to Yoplait yogurt. The same trends have also been eating into the bottom line of companies like Campbell, Hershey, and J.M. Smucker. Still to come in your Suncoast News, where Chinese archaeologists found what they believe to be a 2,000-year-old bottle of liquor. The story coming up.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure.
It's a group mainly of volunteers. When a wild animal is in need of help, they come to the rescue. We're visiting the Wildlife Center of Venice, and these volunteers are doing it all. Their goal is to rehabilitate and then release animals back into the wild, and they're not afraid to go the distance.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
In entertainment news, Celine Dion cancels some of her upcoming performances in Vegas, and Robin Thicke will still have to pay up. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more in today's Showbiz Wrap.
Celine Dion fans are wishing the pop superstar a quick recovery. Dion was forced to cancel 3 weeks of her upcoming performances at Caesars Palace due to a medical condition. According to a press release, Dion has been dealing with a condition in her middle ear for the past year and a half, which causes hearing irregularities and makes it difficult to sing. She'll undergo a minimally invasive surgical procedure to correct the problem. Dion says she knows how disappointing this is to her fans who paid to see her perform, and she is sorry. The stars of the new Wes Anderson animated film Isle of Dogs turned out for the premiere at New York's Metropolitan Museum. The film takes place in a Japanese city in an alternate universe in the near future, where dogs are banished to a toxic island due to fear of pandemic dog flu.
Wes just had this idea of these dogs. I don't know why. He doesn't even know why. He's like, I don't know why dogs. But to me, the dogs are man's best friend.
Oddly enough, Anderson doesn't even have a dog. Isle of Dogs opens in theaters on March 23rd. Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams will still have to pay the family of the late Marvin Gaye. A federal court upheld a 2015 jury's verdict that the hit Blurred Lines illegally copied Gaye's 1977 song, Got to Give It Up. The court says Thicke and Williams have to give up $5.3 million to the Gaye family. Lawyers for both say they plan to appeal the new ruling. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Longtime Boston television personality and entertainer Frank Arvich, who was the star of the popular children's TV program Bozo the Clown, has died. Arvich passed away on Tuesday of heart disease at his Boston home. He was an active philanthropist and a board member of UNICEF's New England chapter. He toured the world performing as Bozo the Clown for UNICEF and was 89 years old. Finally, aging wine and liquor, nothing new, but China may have discovered the world's oldest drink. Chinese archaeologists unearthed a bronze kettle in one of the country's northwest provinces. The kettle dates back more than 2,000 years, and inside was about 10 ounces of a milky white, muddy liquor. The kettle is a sacrificial vessel dating back to between 2021 and 207 BC, and was unearthed from a graveyard of commoners' tombs. Archaeologists say it is similar to yellow rice wine that's consumed in China today. That's pretty cool.
Amazing.
I don't know if it looked all that appetizing.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's fascinating how long alcohol has been incorporated into society.
Right. Yeah, good point.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
We have some cold weather shaping up for us tonight. Bundle up. More on that at 5.
Hope you have a great afternoon ahead, and we invite you back at 5.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.